and good evening, everyone. Yes, that's right, it's Saturday night, it's 10, and it's time for another live stream. Yes, I bet you weren't expecting that, neither was I really, but after last night's shorter than usual stream, I thought it might be a good idea to do another stream tonight. And tonight we're going to be picking up with the next batch of edits. And as I have mentioned on my Facebook page, tonight we are going to be doing some edits from Genshin Impact. Now, I'm not a Genshin player, but it's obvious to anyone who hasn't been living under a rock in the cosplay community that Genshin Impact is probably one of the biggest trending cosplays that's happening right now. So it kind of pays to get to know a few things. Obviously, there's a heck of a lot of characters. I think there's something like at least 50 within the game. I could be wrong. But everyone, I'm sure, will find that they have their favorites. Me, I'm relatively neutral. I'm kind of more of an old school gamer, and I tend to wince whenever I see a pay to play kind of game with a microtransaction. Now, we're not talking maybe a lot of money, not compared to, say, Diablo, which, for example, needs you to sell at least one kidney and your immortal soul for all time just to be able to play the game. But, you know, it's still one of those things that if you weren't careful, you could end up spending a lot of money on a game, and effectively, in my opinion, you don't necessarily have anything to show for it. But that's just my opinion, and, you know, your opinions may vary. Who am I to argue? After all, it would be a dull world if we all agreed on everything. Anyway, so what we will do is quickly switch over to Lightroom. Now, this is where we finished off yesterday's stream. We were doing a stream, some edits of Marida cosplayer. This is Kasuna cosplay, who I see a lot on the Northwest scene, or at least have done when cons were running. I have to admit, I haven't been to that many cons this year. It's just been one of more focusing on higher level, more quality than just quantity. There was a time a few years ago when in the course of 1 year, I think I did 14 sort of localish cons across the Northwest and parts of Yorkshire. And that was pretty draining. And as well, it kind of got to be a bit samey. And ever since then, I've kind of been thinking about moving into different areas, going further afield, which this year I've been doing. Because at the start of the year, well, at least the early part of this year, I was at Secret Con at Gloucester Prison. I was also at Cos Expo in Reading. And then at the second Secret Con at Keele Hall. So, definitely been getting around a little bit. So, we're going to be working today. Obviously, like I've said, it's going to be a Genshin Impact show. And our cosplayers are Ixtran and Capcom Cosplay. I hope I got that right. I'm still on the water at the moment. We haven't hit the beer yet. But there is a possibility that beer could get involved in these edits. We shall see. So we have quite a few pared down from the original set. I did take quite a few, and I did say to people on the secret com page that I will be looking at up to a maximum of about 5 pictures per person. Obviously, when we're dealing with a duo, I would say double that number straight away. So we're just having a quick run through of some of the things we got. These are the ones I kind of picked out as pictures that I'd like to go ahead and edit. So this is our first picture which we're going to edit, and let's just bring that up a little bit. I'm just gonna, you probably will know by now that I have certain settings that are my favorites. Things that I like to do on pretty much all of my shoots. Do a quick spot focus check. That is not bad. Looked like maybe the focus point was just slightly forward, but that's not bad at all. So we've got these adjustments. Nothing is much we need to do on this side now. In terms of the overall look, that's what this sort of first picture is going to be used to determine, because they're all shot in the same lighting conditions all outside. So let's get this opened up in Photoshop and see where we go. Right, just duplicate that layer. I always like to duplicate the first background layer. This gives me like a safety net in case everything does go wrong. And just going to zoom in a bit and just have a look and see, are there any kind of distractions or things that, not sure. Wouldn't like to say what that is. That could just be a branch, but you never know. The main thing to see is there anything we could do. Like, is it worth trying to clean up the path at all? Probably not. What I think we could do though is we obviously need to make this boot cover a little more seamless. So first thing we're going to do, let's get a cleanup layer going. Obviously, a few things that we want to clean up there. Remove some of that stitching, perhaps. Like I say, there it's especially obvious. So what we're going to do is we'll get our clone stamp tool, current and below. We'll take the opacity to 100% on this one. And let's just get ourselves a nice sample point. So give a sample there. And there we go. We're just gonna blend that in a little bit there. And while we're at it, let's just get rid of that a bit, and maybe just clean up a few of those little scuffs. And just clean around the edge ever so slightly. You might say that's an awful lot of effort, but sometimes once your eye locks onto something, it's hard to unsee. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything bad with the work that's done. Boot covers are a very, very common prop that's used in cosplay because, to be quite honest, and this is probably most cosplayers' opinion, certainly my opinion as someone who's bought cosplay shoes, you can tell that they're manufactured to kind of look like a shoe, but they don't really function really well as a shoe. The soles on them are not always the best. And just excuse me for a second. Nothing worse than letting your tea start to go cold, so need to keep that flowing, and then we hit the water. But as I was saying, when it comes to things like cosplay shoes and you're going in a rougher area like this, it can easily be very impractical to spend a whole day wearing shoes like that. So what we're doing here is we're just very lightly taking out the stitching. Oh, deal. Where's some of those? We'll just take a quick look. And while we're at it, I'll just remove the laces a bit. And blend in shoe cover into the actual shoe. Randomly just remove some of those little duplicate marks. Now, before we do anything else, let's just take a quick little zoom out and see how that looks. I think that looks pretty good at that point. So let's just go over and do the same with the boot cover. This is where we've got to be a little more careful because we've got obstructions and things like that getting in the way. It's just trying to find an easier way to kind of blend these in. May not be perfect, but we'll get there. I think we need a slightly bigger brush and just sort of blend that in a little bit. So let's just take a look at that again. And that's the shoes pretty much fixed there. So let's take a closer look now and see if there's any other things that might need fixing. Things we could look at doing is like removing the zit. Again, fairly straightforward process. Now we've obviously got a tiny issue in that this line isn't quite sitting right. Now, while we're at it, let's just fire up a message. May as well be hospitable. Anyone who is watching, if you want to jump in and say hi, feel free to do so. It may take me a couple of minutes to notice a reply while I'm getting quite deep into the work, but yeah, let's have a look at that first. Right, now, as a theme, we could just quickly repair. This is one of the best bits of Photoshop, is how quickly you can clean up props. And get rid of any lines, fix any little joins. I'm not sure how long it took to put this together, but I do vaguely remember seeing Extract and posting this on his Instagram. But it was, I think it was almost crunching to get. Let's see what's going on there. Get this ready. just do just light strokes, and we'll come back and clean up a few of these lines. But as somebody who's made props themselves, I know how much time and effort you can put in on these things, and trying to get everything just right when you're on a tight deadline isn't the easiest of things to do. And sometimes on the day you just think, I hope nobody actually notices what's being done or what I might have missed out on. So I'm going to check that. No, that looks fine from here. So again, just going to drag our navigator window around a little bit just to check if there's any things that we need to fix. And we've got the boot covers kind of covered. I'd say that's pretty much all we need to do is clean up. Well, tell a lie. That thing there is annoying me slightly. So let's go in and take this thing out. It's one of those things, sometimes if you can pull it out of the ground, it's a lot easier. But when it's after the fact, you're pretty much you're relegated to having to Photoshop it. So at that point, you won't even notice that, and I'll just take bits of these out. Just get rid of that one a little bit. So there, I say we've got the base for our first picture. So let's just merge those together. And as you know, I always like to label my layers so I know what it is I'm working on. So now that we've got two merged, we're going to duplicate that. And we get our quick selection tool. We'll use the cloud and do a select subject. And then we just go in and refine our selections a bit, because you can guarantee, you can see now, There's a few little areas where it hasn't quite picked up things as it should have done. Hopefully won't take too much effort to just affect a quick clean up of this selection. Now, if there's anybody watching who knows Photoshop, you might be thinking, well, why don't you just use the pen tool? And there's a good reason for that. Nobody wants to sit and watch me spend 2+ hours tracing round one cosplay picture with a pen tool when you can do this a little quicker. And use the resources you've got available. I mean, sure, the result could be a lot better. Okay, so that's not too bad. And you can see now how it's almost missing the edge of the jacket there. Which is why it does always pay to come in and do a quick spot check to make sure that the selection is as tight as you can get it. Like I say, the pen tool is, or would be, the preferred method, but as I'm doing this on a live stream, I'm prepared to take a few risks with this and just say, well, you know, let's just for the sake of getting it cleaned up fairly quickly. So far looks like we may be having another quiet stream night. I don't mind, because I can chat rubbish to myself. And there's no one there to tell me to shut up. There. Alright, got a bit there. It's not caught quite right. We just need to shrink that selection area down a bit. in. Just tidies things up a bit. Also been wondering what to do next once I've finished this segment of Secret Con edits, because we aren't really that far away. Well, been saying that probably for weeks now, and I'm still editing these pictures. As you probably gather, I'm not the fastest editor in the world. I'm not chasing Instagram likes or follows, for that matter. Especially given that the Instagram algorithm is as crap as ever, and reach has just virtually disappeared. You know, it's always the way. As soon as they cotton on to certain hashtags being used, they realise, oh, it's getting popular. Right, let's slap everybody back down again. And then tell them, hey, you can reach 5,000 potential viewers by paying us money. Which is understandable, I guess. It is their platform. They've spent much time and money to develop it and give us something that, you know, under the illusion of for free, because we are paying for it effectively with personal information. Well, I'm not saying that the information we use is top secret. I mean, it's virtually available everywhere that we interact with the internet. I don't want to select that. Deselect that way around. That's close enough, I guess. No, this area. Just needs a tiny bit. You can see we've got this area here that just need to pull back in. Now, this looks potentially may potentially cause a problem, but what we'll do, we're just going to send the mask out a bit there. And we'll probably use a layer mask to control how much is left. Okay, so selected that, and let's hit the layer mask. Just grab a quick cup of tea. Now we can hit the water next. And we'll look at adding a curves layer. This is kind of my preferred color grading technique at the moment. What we'll do is look at the brightness. Obviously, if we pull the brightness down too much, I think maybe just we just want to hint the brightness down there. And then we need to sort of decide what do we want to do color wise. You know, do we want to do things like create an S curve, boost the contrast? That isn't really working. Kind of bringing a bit more of a magenta hue to the dirt there. And that's a little bit strong. And this is just really sort of playing around with looks. Like, say, if I pull the green channel down, or we just pull it from the center a little bit. Let's see what our blue channel's going to do. Pulling the blue down means we start getting a bit more yellow in there. If we go this way, we're going to a much colder kind of look. Now it's a kind of a sunny-ish day. It was actually a bit cloudy, but I think at this point the sun actually broke through the clouds and it got quite warm for a few minutes. And then about half an hour later, it threw it down with rain for about 5 minutes. But that wasn't too bad, considering the forecast was that most of the morning would be wet and it would dry up in the afternoon. And instead we had a dull but cloudy morning till like mid-lunchtime. And it was only towards the afternoon it sort of brightened up and then rained a little bit. So we'll take that there. Let's just take more of the Lift the blue up a little bit. Not sure. I shall leave that there. And so again, we'll just have a look at the reds. And then taking out the red, you'll see the green really starts to bit overwhelming. I just want like the hints of warmth there. So that's our good evening, Oderham cosplay. Good to see you. Hope you've had a good day. That's good to hear. If you'd heard last night's stream, you'd have heard I've been off work ill for about a week. I won't repeat what happened. It was just, yeah, feeling a lot better now. I've just got a face going back into work on Monday, but that's on Monday. We're still in Saturday night, so I'm not worried that much right now. So have you been to anything much this weekend so far? Right. Now that we've done the background, let's just see if there's anything we can do. All right, you've been working on your cosplay. Which cosplay have you been working on? What I'm going to do first. Doomslayer from Doom Eternal. Ooh, nice. That's a cool cosplay. Yeah, let's try having the sword. Let's put a gradient map. See how that looks. Okay, it's not. Almost feel like we can add something else to that as well. I definitely think I'm going to add some kind of sunshine overlay, especially as the sun was coming in over this side. To see if we can do any kind of overall grade on this. having a think on that one, but let's see. Let's put another all herbs there. Let's see how does that look. Yeah, when we start taking there, it's definitely a little bit too much. Actually, let's just try doing it. And just see what happens. Fine. See how that looks. I sort of want a hint of blue. Sort of cast there. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's okay. So as this isn't actually metallic in any way, I don't think there'd be much benefit gained from dodging and burning, especially in natural light. So and let's see where we need to be going. We need to be going to network. Best colour look up on Moonlight for horror for blue. That might be worth a try. We'll have a look at that while we wait for everything to update. You wouldn't believe the machine is literally sat next to me. They're on the same network. Oh, I love. Oh, now you find it. Name resolution, I bet. Yeah, I've got a lot of looks. absolutely was. I mean, it's like 7,000 here. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't think I'll ever have the time to go through most of those. Well, let's see. Overlays. Sunshine photo plays. Favorite ones I always like to use. Just increase that. I'd say 50% there. Doesn't look too bad. But what we'll do is we're just going to take these off for a second. And let's apply a lot. Moonlight. Oh, let's have a look off. Yeah, it's trying to work out what it's doing there. But might switch that to horror blue. Yeah, at full strength looks are always like, oh my god, what is that doing? Now that's starting to look a bit like a old sort of 1980s kind of film look, slightly underexposed and that. I think that's possibly, yeah, that's the sheer strength. That colour look up. But that's the beauty of doing all this. Is you can look at stuff like this and you can just say, okay, I only need maybe 10% to affect a change. I think what it's doing is it's just sort of adding a slightly bluer, cooler tone to the tree. At this level it's actually very minimal. But it's just like a slighter darkening in this area. But We'll leave that underneath the when you can see the difference that overlay layer makes. That's lifting the exposure in that and giving us a sort of sense that some light is coming through. I suppose the real question is, how much do I like it? I mean, in terms of the overall look, that's what we started with just a bit of cleanup, getting rid of a few branches and just sort of tidying up one or two little bits. We went from there to that kind of look. But it's got some warm tones. I wanted to definitely keep a bit of warmth in the image because it's obvious from looking at the light in the trees here and there that you can tell the sun's obviously shining and it suddenly looked warmed up a little bit. So we wanted to have a little warmer tones. Say what I'm going to do is let's save that. And now that we've saved that, let's go back to Lightroom. And this was a close-up shot. Okay, with this picture, take a quick look and see. Obviously, a couple of little fix-ups there which we'll need to do. Is there anything else that needs fixing up? Not there, I can see. So, what we'll do, let's get ourselves a quick clean up there. Get that sample handle. And fix a few of these little seams. And again, we're just going around doing some quick little fixes. As you can see. That's just basically because I'm a bit fussy. Going quite as well as I would have hoped. But, you know, maybe we need to just take that brush size down a touch and let's make our area a bit larger. So that's the basic sort of little repairs that we've done on the sword. So we'll merge those two together and repeat the process. I'm going to do that. And let's get the subject selected. Well, I think it's done a mostly better job than what it did last time. Didn't need to intervene quite as much. Although, looking at this, I think we're going to need just a little bit there. The elbow as well. Okay, for the most part, that's fine. I think it's just a bit down here, like, you know. I'd say that's pretty close, so let's stick on a layer mask there. And now to save ourselves in time. Actually, yeah, we'll take that curve there. This is when it gets the easy bit. We'll even take the overlay with us. And what we'll do first is we'll just enable that. So we've got the light at the top there, so we do a rotate 90 counterclockwise, and then a horizontal flip. And just make sure that this is actually working as expected. Yeah. Now, looking at that, I'd almost say that effect. Actually, hang on. Ah, I can see why. Guess what I've done. Curve slide's meant to stay there. These layers are actually meant to go right above. That's it. In case you were wondering what happened there, when I dropped in the rest of the color grading, I dropped it into the layer that was sat in between Xtran and the background, so it was affecting everything there, but he was staying pretty much the same as. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, that doesn't look right. Now what we'll do, let's have a play. Brine it up a little bit. I can want a bit more sun creeping in there. We've got kind of a warmer tone going on there. Yeah, the horror blue just takes down a bit of green there, but I've kept it quite minimal, so it's just I'm the only one who really notices it, because I can see what this looks like compared to what we started with. So if we go from there to there. And just deactivate all these other layers. That's what we started with. That's kind of where we're going with. So we have got sort of maybe some slight yellow tones creeping up. We've got sunlight. I'm expecting to see something like that appearing. So let's get that saved. Fingers crossed, we're on a roll tonight. is a good job because there's 10 pictures in this Genshin set. I always like streams for wide shots. I only wish I'd actually caught the tip of the blade, but it was all waving around a little bit, so sometimes you just gotta make do with what you've got. So and then the person we're going to want is a cleanup layer. Because the first thing I can spot is the boot cover, which in all honesty, not many people would be looking at that, but I'm one of those guys that does. So let's get that fixed first. And we'll just blend that into the shoe. Little luck. Actually maybe hide a few of the marks there and just clean up the edge a touch. Let's take that brush size down a bit more because picking up that too much. Take that stitching out there. There we go. Let's just check. Can we see the other foot? Nope. That's good. Let's just get that up, fixed up. And if you're wondering why I've just plunged into the darkness, I think that's my LED video light giving out on its battery. So now we have a slightly different color balance as we're now using an ordinary light. So I'll have to get that one charged up in a bit. That's about the most used that video light have since, oh god, since my first secret con way back in March this year. Where it proved to be invaluable, actually. I would not have been able to do any of the Star Wars night shoots were it not for having them. Although I wish that I had one or two more, or at least some slightly higher powered ones, because trying to shoot at night is not the easiest of things to do, especially trying to get accurate focus when you're shooting at, say, 60th of a second, which isn't something I can do handheld these days. Back in the film days, and at least what, maybe, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago, that would have been easy for me. But with modern high-resolution digital sensors, they pick up every tiny vibration, and it doesn't take much before you realize, are your pictures actually out of focus, or is it the fact that you're shaking holding the camera, which is something that you kind of become a bit more aware of as you get older. Taking a look, I think we are all good there. Apart from the usual, you guessed it, there's that one really niggly piece of straw or something that is just kind of clamoring for attention. And why have we switched tools? There. There we go. Right, so on to the next merge. Duplicate and do another quick selection. Okay, so yes, not bad. Let's just see, there is that neat taking out, so you can see sometimes it goes a little bit crazy when the tones are too close together. other than that, isn't too bad. Well, famous last words. Yeah, we'll leave that hair out of that. So let's go over to our layer mask. Go back to full size view. Just take that layer in between those two. I do need to look at moving my camera position, I think, at some point. Maybe have it sat over here so you can see a bit more what's going on over in this section. I'll sort that out for another stream, although then it means I'll have to flip the view, because otherwise you'll be looking at me looking this way and I'll be looking that way out, which will look a bit strange, or at least no stranger than usual. Okay, so let's get that one up. Let's do a control. And say, if you're wondering why I didn't pick the previous one to drag the settings over, it was just because the picture orientation was in portrait, and I figured with the first one being in portrait as well, pulling the overlay layer will be easier. Just means I don't have to do any manipulation on it. Again, it's all about not making work for yourself. And yeah, I like that. Gives you that feel that sunlight's actually catching through, which you can see is what's happening here. So let's get that one saved. And let's see what's our next picture. Right, this shouldn't be easy. Well, compared to yesterday, where I think I spent almost the first hour trying to work out why the change, well, why I was trying to make the dress color change not work, especially when the first time I tried it, it worked. So far, we are doing really well. I'll be honest, when it comes to editing, I really do like nice, simple, easy to fix edits. There's nothing wrong with more complex edits, it's just that they can become very, very time consuming. Down the touch. And this is probably the point where you think, he's over obsessing on fixing things that you may not even notice. And yeah, you're probably right. But it's what we do as photographers. We like to get our pictures perfect. No, yes, we definitely needed that. I'm pretty sure nobody in Genshin walks around with Doc Martens. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe they need to kick someone's head in. So perfect for that job. But let's just remove that label. Well, that little tag thing. I had a pair of Doc Martens once. I think they were purple 9 or 11 hole. Yeah, they were. It was an experience. They're the only shoes I know of that you don't break in, they break you in. I wore them, I think, for 2 days, and my whole foot turned into a blister. This is like when I was still at school. Yeah. No, I never wore Docs after that. Right, let's just zoom out. Just home in on our next area. What we'll do is just check to see if there's anything really obvious showing up. Yeah, that seam there. Get that cleaned up. There we go. Make fairly quick work of that. Just check, see if we actually need to do any fixes. I'd say on the whole of it, I think that's all right. Accept. Let's get rid of that bit there. Let's see how we're doing. Yeah. So we'll just deactivate our background. Now, let's see how it handles handling something to people. Is it smart enough to do it? And the answer is yes, it is. So let's just do a quick zoom in because we've got a few tiny areas that need a bit of tweaks. Just needs yeah, it's not too bad. Is that actually part of a tree branch? I suspect that is actually, so... Yes, that's definitely a tree branch, it's mistaken. Oh, you would have to do that, wouldn't you? catch that bit there. Yeah, we're not going to try and refine all those hairs, because I suspect that would really throw the masking out quite a bit. Other than that, that is a fairly clean selection. So let's just go over and grab our curves there first. And throw that in between. And then we'll just switch those layers back on again. And maybe we'll just drop that down to about 39%. So again, as you can see, shooting with a Nikon in the green, there is quite a strong green bias going on here. So we just tweak the colours a bit more, add a bit more warmth, and kind of a sort of a slightly bluish, maybe it's a bluish or yellowish cast, I think. I can't actually tell. I can just see there's something there. I just can't think of the life of me what colour that kind of cast is. It's just lifting the shadows in one of the channels. I decided not to do green this time, just to sort of get a different look. But let's save that. And we'll head to Lightroom. And we'll pick the next picture for editing. let's have a quick look to see if there's anything that we need to do in terms of cleanup, because the sword itself isn't, well, actually yes, there is a bit, so it's just that little bit to do. I always say there's a little bit to do, not a lot, and it ends up turning into more than I thought it was. Let's just check anything that we need to do specific around here. Not really. So let's get these merged together. Get our next selection. So let's have another zoom in and quick check on selections. Looks like we're getting some sort of lag going on here. That's better. Just clean that tiny bit up there. Well, it isn't really a lot there. Okay, I'm just looking for anything really obvious. That example like this bit here. These selections missed. Although to say it doesn't know whether that selection should be part of it or not. We're just checking, make sure we've got better. I'd say go for a layer mask. We don't have much in the way of annoying distractions in the background, so that's another one that will make life a bit easier. Yeah, let's just take that one first. And we'll just drag that overlay, get that in the right place. Definitely need something just to lift it up a little bit. I'll just take that down to about 50. I think we've got it. As you can see, for anyone joining us now, this is the original picture with just a few cosmetic tweaks, just sort of cleaning up lines on the costumes and props. And then after some color grading, including curves, layers, LUT, and also using an overlay, that's kind of the result we're going with. But it's got a different sort of feel to it. I wanted each set of pictures to sort of have their own kind of identity, and it doesn't feel like, you know, people look and go, oh yeah, Mike just puts the same things on everything. No, I tweak them almost to suit. And unfortunately, this is to suit my preferences. You may have different opinions. You may have thought the original picture was fine as it was. But that's one of the joys of photography. It is completely subjective, and we can change things to look any way we want to. So let's get that one saved. Right, well, now that's been saved, just going to clean up our Photoshop. So we've got one of each. We went for a slightly alternate angle on this one. This will be the next image that we'll edit after this short break, because I need to go. So I will see you shortly. And we're back. Welcome to part 2 of the 18% ratio, which is part 7. Hard to believe we've actually done that after all that time. So just before we carry on with the stream, I'm just going to do my quick bit of shill and say, if you'd like to support me, you can support me through my Patreon page. You can also make single one-off payments to me via PayPal. Details of that are currently on the About tab on Twitch. But, you know, if you're watching from the UK, you've had some edits from me, and you feel like, you know, you'd like to give a little back and help out a poor photographer, feel free to join. You can join my Discord server for free. The Patreon area maybe someday will come active when we actually have some Patreons actually signing up. But you can sign up from as little as £1 per month, which isn't really a lot, but every little bit adds up, and it does go some way towards offsetting some of the cost of convention tickets, travel, and possible little bits and knickknacks you need to get through a shoot. So take a look when you get a chance. And if you feel like you'd like to support a cash-strapped photographer in these cash-strapped times, consider joining. Anyway, now that I've done my little page shill, well, paid shill? I'm not even getting paid. Well, you know what I mean. I'm just shilling. Let's get back to editing. So, here we are, and we're back with the next picture in our set from Genshin Impact. Now, I'm just thinking what I might have said previously on one of the previous streams. I think this is possibly the third time I've worked together with these guys, and to be honest, they're lovely. Really great guys to work with. We always seem to have a good laugh, and I think we get some nice pictures out of the shoot. And it was really nice to actually have them say to me that, you know, there are photographers that you always keep a lookout for at conventions and events, because, you know, they happen to like working with them. And I'm like quite flattered that people out there would think that way. So it's always good to be appreciated. I'm intrigued to know what caused that lag. One of those things that always gets me and thinks, yes, we do need to clean up there. I know exactly what we need to be doing. I don't know, maybe I should rename this the Cookie Cutter Show, because a lot of the edits and things I do when you're dealing with a set of pictures tend to be very much the same. But such is the nature of the beast. And these are the things that we photographers have to do. Okay, that's a little bit. Make that like smaller. and we'll just do our usual little quick fixes. There we go. I think nearly there. And as before, we're just going round anything we can't spot and clean up tiny little details. I can say that's pretty much that sorted. Murked it. Okay. Right, it's lost the ability to spell. That makes a bit more sense. Let's get that selection done and crank on through. So we're just checking the overall selection, just making sure that we've got everything that should be selected. There's nothing worse than just missing a bit out. That's a bit better there. This part needs to be selected a bit. Yeah, there's definitely something going on there. Definitely quite a bit of a stutter at that moment, but yeah, don't just hate it when the selections like that do that. I can imagine most of my friends be saying, well, you're not using the pencil, are you? Well, I would like to go to bed at some point. Right, let's say that will do. Grab the rest of these. And just reapply that gradient, overlay. Let's say just 50% do it at this point. Yeah, I see that'll do. So I like to show everybody that's viewing, this is the original photo with just a bit of cleanup. And that's our finished photo with color grading, LUTs and overlays. So let's get that saved. Ooh, encoding overloaded again. Right, so saving in Photoshop at the same time as streaming is overloading my encoder, I guess. Let's have a look at that. Maybe do some experiments with the bitrate. Because at the moment I'm streaming at 720p. My son, who's also a streamer, said there wasn't much need to stream something like this at 1080 unless you're gaming. And that's probably, actually, that comes back to something I think I talked about in part 1, where I was thinking about what I was going to be doing once I finish this set of pictures, as in the whole of Secret Con, because I don't think I'll have much in terms of cosplay content for... Oh, quick shout out to Doogie Fresnes. Hi, thank you for subscribing to the stream. Hope you enjoy it. If you want to give a quick shout out in the chat, let me know where you're viewing from. That'd be really cool. Share with all our other viewers. And what brings you to this channel at 16 minutes past midnight GMT in the UK? Right, so another picture. I know, again, some people might say, you know, you could just copy these settings and paste them each time. I've done this often enough. It's just, sometimes I just like doing it and just going, yeah, that'll do. If everything was copy and paste, it would look like I actually did nothing. And to some people, it might actually look like it is what I'm doing, which is nothing. No, seriously though. Me serious? Well, you know, yeah, we try. So, as we do usually, I'm going to check. Boots are okay. There's nothing costume-wise that needs tweaking or anything, so that's always a good start. So, in fact, that's probably the first one I've not had to do a cleanup layer on. Shock. So, let's get these subjects isolated. We just need to get that. Yeah, we're almost there. Not quite. Not just the touch. Fine there. Sounds clean. Just need to tidy up some of these selections a little bit. Yeah, that's right. I was talking about what I was going to do once I'd finished editing photos from SecretCon, because of the fact that there aren't really all that many cons left. Well, none that I can afford to go to in the UK. In 2 weeks' time, let's see, what is it? It's MCM London, which my friend Valentine Cosplay Gaming is go to. She's also a streamer and casual gamer. So if you do fancy watching some of her streams, go and check out Valentine Cosplay Gaming on Twitch. This is going to be her first MCM since pandemic started. I think she's really looking forward to going this time round. She's also let's see, that thing there. She's also going to be cosplaying as Yelan from Genshin. So if you're a Genshin cosplayer at MCM London, you may well bump into her at some point. Ooh, that's going to be a... Let's get that down. Yeah, how to screw up your selections a bit. I might get this selection just about right. Yeah, that is a hole there. Yeah. Right. Let's hit that layer mask. And you'll be thinking, hang on a minute, what's he done there? Not a problem. I'll just activate that and duplicate that. Let's get that. Actually, that is the right place. And reposition our light overlay. And then we'll add our gradient map. Now these are actually applying to basically our subject, which we've isolated from the background. That has its own adjustment, as you can see there. We've taken that green and kind of brought that down on its own. That looks fine. I mean, that gives it a nice bit of punch, stands out from the background a bit, and also gives the soil more of a warmer color, which, considering the sun was shining at the time, kind of suits it. I believe this character is Bennett from Genshin Impact. So that's a very subtle gradient map we've applied. We apply another curved layer, and we also applied a look. All three combined is quite subtle. And just by bearing that percentage, you can see how bright. And I might say about 50%. And just label that layer. Final. We're really on a roll tonight. those off. That's another edit completed. So that was our original image out of camera, more or less. And that is our final image. So let's get that one saved. And we'll just see if there's any encoding overloaded. Really? This is a 12-core processor, 32 gig of RAM, and you're telling me you're overloaded. We'll definitely have to do some investigations and see if we can tweak this to perform a bit better. So we're down to the last 3 pictures out of this set. Now, we're having some sort of thoughts or ideas for what to do. I will probably do all 3 and just give them the benefit of the choice, because I don't want to feel like I'm shortchanging anybody. Because when I told people what I'd be doing in terms of edits, I did say that I'd be sort of confining it, the selections, to about a maximum of 4 to 5 per person. Just because in the past I've had people asking for an awful lot more edits out of a shoot than realistically you need. Well, it looks like I won't be hitting that beer tonight. That might not be a bad thing. I've still got 3 cans of Stella in the fridge. Yeah, I would like to get back to one of those, but let's get this opened up. Now, do we need to do any cleanup on this? Yeah, need to clean up the boot covers. So we can catch something, and we were missing something as we were going with the idea of pretending to catch a fish. So, no, I don't want to do that. I'm just going to rename the left. So let's get the clone stamp tool. We'll just sample an area there. And we're just going to extend this boot down a bit, and if possible clean out that stitch line in one go. And as our boot covers being used on this particular cosplay, I just want to try and blend these in so they feel a little more like a part of the shoe. I mean, it might look like really lazy editing, but we're obsessing over very tiny details that probably most people will never notice. But that's what we photographers can be like. We're all a bit on the fussy side when it comes to what I'll do maybe is just going to take that opacity down a bit. I'll just clean that up a little bit. One thing we do want to get rid of is the tag, as it's pair of Doc Martens. Pretty sure they didn't wear those in Genshin Impact. Little scuffs. There we go. I think that's now. I had an idea of something. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to open up our downloads folder, and somewhere in all of this yeah, not something you'd expect to see. But you know me, always gonna try something. If you're fishing and you're looking like you're holding your hands out to catch something, I kind of expect to see a fish on a line. But trying to find a halfway decent picture that isn't copyrighted and, you know, stuck on a stock agency site is hard work. So drop that, and actually no, let's tell you what, let's go back and just make one last change. And we'll change that to 16 bits a channel. Right, this is going to be interesting. There's no guarantee that this is going to work. But what we need to do, I think, to transform its size a bit, maybe a little bit more. And we need to do kind of a perspective wall of some sort. So it's going to be some kind of Yeah, almost like one, two. I'm trying to figure out how we want that to be, because we're really trying to match this sort of plane of water. And yeah, we're going too wide. Right, that might kind of do it. Do a 3 transform. Yeah, we kind of want to rotate it that way and go back to that perspective. Or is it actually? It's trying to store. Yeah, it's kind of matching. That might do. Crazy as it may seem. So we need to place that fish sort of around there. And let's just apply. Actually, let's just see if covered with. Yeah, I think what we'll do now is we'll select our brush tool. We'll just take our flow down a bit. We'll see what happens. Should we change the color? And just take off some of those hard edges. Don't ask why that was doing that then. Okay, so I think what we're going to do on this is That's probably huge saturation there. I'll just pull the saturation down that much. And we just take the brightness down a touch as well. Oh, it's not exactly what I was hoping, but at least you've got some kind of context now, because you've got Expand, or as Razor, he's squatting down, hands open, ready to catch. Bennett has got a makeshift fishing rod, although we don't have any kind of a line. I suppose we could try drawing a line, actually. That might not be a bad idea. So I'll just create one and call it line. So just going to zoom in. Same with a brush. Actually, no, let's not use that. Let's use a line tool. We're going to use a white fill, no stroke. 60 pixels. Not sure about that. Let's see what that looks like. It would help also if we reset. We go for pixels. And we just drag that to about there. Now we'll give it a little bit of a context there. I think while we're at it, let's just apply a very, very slight blur. Yeah. And also, while we're at it, let's do the same for the fish. Well, it's not often I edit a fish into a picture. I somehow don't think this would make it into Angling Times. Let's take our background off, and what we'll do now is take all of those layers and group them onto their own layer. Then we'll duplicate that layer, and you've guessed it, we're going to do another select subject. And now we're just cleaning up the selection of it. Let's just get that. Oh yeah, I need to. Just need to get that done. And okay, wasn't sure what it was thinking of doing. Probably. Now I'm not going to select the stick, so I just think that might be a bit too taxing. Let's just check. That's okay. Just a tiny bit there we need to take out. Check. Oh, chat's a little quiet, so I'm not sure if Doogie's still with us or just watching quietly, thinking, what the hell is he doing? Doesn't have a clue. Oh, you'd be almost right. I do tend to wing my edits a bit. Makes them more interesting. Keeps you on your toes as well. I'm just going to increase that area just to make sure we've got the soul selected there. And I'd say we go for a layer mask at that point. And we just go out there. I think we can pass that off as a fish. It does give the idea of there's something going on there. Otherwise, it's like they're angling, but there's nothing there. And the interesting thing is that there were anglers on the other side of the lake who were actually fishing. And I bet when they were looking at everything going on the day, they were just thinking, what the fuck going on here? But, you know, that's what a big all-day cosplay shoot turns into. An interesting collection of people. So, what we'll do, let's just get rid of that koi. So, you know, it was brought to you by this fella. He came from Wikipedia, by the way, so he is copyright cleared. No, I don't think we need to save any. He's there for posterity. Ooh, just kind of adjust myself. Been streaming for nearly 3 hours now, so we're kind of getting back to the length of some of my streams. And we've still got a couple of pictures left to go for tonight or this morning. Let's see, where was I going? Yeah. Hope you're enjoying the music. I'm trying to vary the sort of synthwave vibe between each of the streams. I kept the motion video the same, but I'm looking for more loops because I am kind of enjoying a lot of this style of music. I just find it's kind of nice to have some background music. Just keeps it interesting. So we'll have a gradient map. Our curves there. Our color lookup. Oh, I've done it again. Yeah. Let's just do those a second. Photoshop really likes to mess with you when you copy layers from one picture to the next. Let's just see. Yeah, 68%. I think that's. Let's take it down maybe a tiny bit. And we'll just deactivate all these layers. Just so you can see. That's what we started with. And that's our finished result. And we have a fish. So we have some kind of interest going on there. Let's get that saved. Right. Let's close. Pull these down. That's going to be our next one. Right, well, let's get that one edited next. And we definitely need that good old cleanup layer again, because when we sat down you can see the boot covers, so we're going to need to remove those, and to do that we're going to use our clone stamp tool. partly to extend. Just gently erase the stitch marks. Now this part is going to be interesting. I would say what we need to be doing is really cleaning around the edge of the shoe. Now I know for anyone who's recently started watching, might be thinking it's very obsessive. Oh, the tiny details. And yes, you're right. Looks fine. Just going to quick check on the actual costume itself. If there's anything that needs. Nope, I think we're good. So let's get these merged. Just duplicate that. And we'll do another select subject. Just see if there's any gaps or anything. So like this piece here. And we'll just need to extend the selection area down a bit into the grass. And so far, these selections are looking pretty good. That's a lot better. We just need to capture this area a bit. I'm just checking the chat. There's obviously a little quiet, but we've at least had some activity this evening, or this morning for that matter. Which is better than last night because I was pretty much talking rubbish to myself. But as you say, you know, stream like no one's listening. If we just try and select all of that, and then we'll just deselect these little areas and see. If we can use a bit of, use some gentle persuasion just to convince Photoshop we know what we're doing when it comes to the selection. Right, well, I'm going to call that. So to that one. Just on the right curve there. You know, I just had a thought. Looking at this picture, there's something wrong. I think I've spotted it. Yeah, I thought something wasn't right there. So let's get rid of that there. That would have been embarrassing if I'd had set that out and not checked it. So good, well spotted. So what we'll do, take these three all layers, drop them on here. Just deactivate them. Second. And that is another finished edit. Well, finished edit, but we could maybe have the line drooping, perhaps. We take that line. Send it up somewhere like that. No, let's just undo that a second. Just have a thought. No, we shouldn't do that. There we go. I think we'll call that one finish. Check edit and save that. And that's our final one, I think, for this evening, possibly. But we'll see how we get on. It is possible. I'm just thinking if I do squeeze one or a couple more edits out. Well, if anything, actually, I don't want to rush the next batch of edits. I've got a feeling it's going to be at least another evening stream's worth there. So let's get our last image opened up into Photoshop for this morning. Okay, in the area we need to work on is the boot covers, I should say. I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to sound like I'm getting a bit tired. Let's just sample that. I'm just going to take that stitching out. I mean, think about it, in reality, boots would have had stitch soles anyway. Entirely. For this, let's just change. Increase that opacity a bit. Take our brush size down. Let's see what's a good way to Good way to clean up these stitches a bit. Not draw. Yeah, I'd say that do it. Right, so let's zoom out. Actually, before we do that, it would help if actually merge our layers. Okay, and then let's get a subject selection made. That's going to be those slightly tricky selections. Before we catch the heel there. See a bit of that. Need to catch there. As well, a bit of the thumb. Bit there we've missed. Right, so we've got that done there. So what we'll do is we'll drag that curves layer in between our subject and background, so you can see that we've actually effected a change there, just that alone. he's making that change, and then after that we go and pick up our remaining layers and drop those on. What we'll do, just deactivate those, select that last one, because for some reason, even though you set the overlay in exactly the same position to cover the whole picture, when you drag and drop it from one document to another, it always seems to change position. Don't know why. So keep the gradient map on, all our curves, and our color lookup. And we'll just have a look and see. That's with none whatsoever. I'd say that might be. That looks more like it. So that's our final there. So to finish off this edit, and God, you can tell I'm really starting to flag now. This was the original photo. This is our finished photo. So we've applied curves layers, separated our subject from our background. We've also used additional curve layers to affect some color grading, as well as a gradient map and a color lookup, as well as applying an overlay to add a lighting effect. And that's just basically simulating the fact that the sun is kind of coming in from this direction, and we're just catching it in the camera, which, as you can see from the original picture, we weren't actually. Lens HUD was doing its job, but for the sake of, you know, an artistic sort of interpretation, I wanted to give it a look and feel that's sort of very different. So let's get that one saved. And while we're at it, we're just gonna close down a few of those. And we've got the old encoding overloaded warning message. Really need to get into that one. So, in 3 hours 20 minutes, I've finished off 10 pictures of the Genshin Impact shoot that was done at SecretCon. So I think at this point, this is probably a good place for me to call it, given that I think my system is starting to flag and wants to go to sleep, as do I. So just switching back to Lightroom. These were some of the pictures that we'd worked on. I must admit, I do like that. It does add that little something to it. So if you're a Genshin Impact fan, hope you enjoyed watching me editing photos of Razor and Bennett on this stream. And coming up next, or at least on the next stream, which will be most likely next Friday night, about 10 p.m. as I'm go back into work next week, and I need to find out what's been going on while I've been off sick and what kind of work's been left for me to do. Yeah. And I did mention it before last night's stream. I was hoping we'd have a bit more time, squeeze out a few more edits, but I think we're going to be kicking off our next stream with some Witcher action and giving this couple some of the pictures that they deserve to get from SecretCon. Well, I'm going to leave that picture in there because, you know, when you capture those moments where everybody just cracks up, it just shows you that we're not all being there, spending all day there being super serious, smouldering looks at the camera. There's a lot of goofing off that goes at these events. As you can see there. So, you've been watching the 18% Grey Show, part 7 of SecretCon edits. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen, and if you're still interested, keep on watching. Some of my older streams are now up on here and on my YouTube channel. I am so going to have to make a video for the very end of one of these streams of all the times that I've completely stuffed up my lines, because it's like I'm getting worse at it. I think by the time you hit 3.5 hours, yeah, we just froze then. I'm watching myself on OBS Studio and watching it freeze, and I'm going, okay, yeah, we need to try and figure out what's causing that. Surely the bitrate, no. But as you can tell, it's late. I'm tired. You're probably tired. I need to go to bed. So, once again, thank you very much for watching the 18% Grey Show. I'm Michael Black, and I'm wishing you a good morning wherever you are. Good morning.